sailor, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning? Way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises early in the morning. Floating in the longboat until he's sober.
Hi everyone and welcome to AIDA Cruises. Yes, we did a small vacation and therefore we headed to Kiel earlier this month, which is a city very northern in Germany where our cruise started. And we normally use AIDA Cruises for this as we are most familiar with them. We decided to do cruises when we make holiday a couple of years ago, I think 6 or 7 years now, and we go on a cruise each year when we can afford it, of course, as we do not really like flying so much. So whenever we can prevent flying to a destination, we go for a cruise. It happened in the past that we had to fly over to a location where the ship started, so yeah, but most of the times we start from Hamburg and arrive in Hamburg, or in Kiel and arrive at Kiel. Yeah, it's most of the time more or less the same routes that we can take, but it's more for the feeling being on the ship and on vacation than seeing the destinations. And although you have seen destinations before, it is still lovely to come back. If you have ever been on a cruise before, let me know if you like them, if you have any experiences, and where have you been. At some point we want to go to the Caribbean, so we really want to do this, but as we will have to fly both ways, we still hesitate a bit. But nevertheless, of course, I also brought some drawing projects with me, which I took on the way. And the first one actually I did on the train. As we had about 4 or 5 hours in the train to arrive at Kiel, I get bored quite quickly. And as I do not like reading so much in the trains or just staring out of the windows, I brought myself some project that I can draw. Of course, it is always a bit of a struggle drawing in the train as the train is moving and shaking and people crossing next to you, so yeah. But I picked my pencil and I decided to go for a charcoal one, as this is the most simple setup that I can have there. And as many of you already have seen on Facebook and Instagram and such, I drew this little orphan boy that I found on Pixabay. For this small vacation that we did, I wanted to test myself in drawing children. As I quite rarely paint children in commissions or such, I wanted to try myself a bit more in their skin texture and detailing and shading, as this is completely different than, adults' work in a way. So I wanted to test myself and I looked Pixabay for some reference photos and found 3 of them which I wanted to try. And this orphan boy was one of the first that just popped into my eyes when I saw it. So I really loved this photo, and the expression that he had just made me want to draw it. And so I used this reference as the first one, and I've shown it on Instagram and Twitter before, and it really resonated with so many people, and I got so many comments and likes, and I was just stunned. I never ever had so many comments and likes before of any of my other artworks. So I've in a way felt this picture and expression of this little guy touched so many people, and I think I will send the original to the photographer of this photo just as a small thank you gift to have made this photo. I don't know, it's really, let me know what you think about it. I really loved it, and I drew it in the train, and to complete it took me about 3 hours, which was stunning amazing, because I'm quite quick drawer and painter, but 3 hours is really quickly done for this. And I used my regular charcoal method, which you have seen me use in so many other videos which I've already uploaded. And as I do not want to have a larger setup, I just used my finger most of the times to spread the pigments around and to increase the shading and whatever you see me doing in this video. And as I felt it was not as dark enough in the end as I wanted to have, because I had no fixative with me, I used my polychroma pencil to go over it, to make it even blacker. And yes, it got a little bit of shine through the pencil itself, which is the nature of it, so it's normal. But it was the same value as the charcoal. So it darkened it even more than the charcoal was able to do without any fixative added. And it was cool and it worked. And this is something I might do in the future again, as it seems to be a nice working idea putting polychromo or Prismacolor or luminance, whatever pencil you have, over the charcoal to increase details and such, because charcoal and details is not the best friend, at least not in my technique, because I cannot really sharpen the charcoal pencil as much as I wanted to sharpen. And so the polychromo was a good addition to make it work as I wanted it to work. And sadly, as I was in the train, I was not able to film the whole process, of course. And even if I did, it would have been too shaky to show here. And so I decided, as the resonance was so overwhelming, that I will do the project again when I'm back home. So I redrew the whole thing, which you can see here in the video, in case you've wondered. And even more amazing, this process took me only about 2 hours to complete. It might have been the picture. It was just amazing. So let me know your thoughts about this drawing, if you like it, if you see anything that I could have done better, or whatever your thoughts about it might be. And after this one was done, I had 2 more days of artwork that I could finish, and I spent a couple of more hours in trying myself in pastels, because pastels is quite still a new medium for me, and although it feels a bit like I'm getting the hang for it, I still struggle in shading, and especially when it comes to details. So I've used another 2 reference photos from small girls and used my pastels, which I brought along, which were more or less some pen pastels and my pastel pencils. And for the pencils, it was pit pastel pencils from Pastel, and from Kooh-I-Noor I have the Gioncando pencils, but I have no personal preference there yet, because again, pastels is quite a new medium to me, and I still more or less experiment with it. So I used the colors that I had available and think was in a way fitting to the reference photo, and shaded in the background first. And when the first shadings were done with the background, as it is quite quickly done in pastels, way quicker than you can achieve the background and base layer with colored pencils, I went over the entire piece with my color pencils, especially in the face. So I did not change the background so much with the color pencils, but in the face for details and shading. And I wanted to get myself more or less a hang for pastels, and also in a way for mixed media. So just to be able to mix medias to get the effect that I wanted, because for many, many years I just could not commit myself to do mixed media. So I think it was like cheating or such. So I had to complete every piece in the medium that I started it with. So if it was oils, if it was charcoal, if it was colored pencil, and even if I opted for a large piece, which I wanted to do in colored pencils, it takes a lot of time. So everything larger than 30 by 40 centimeters or A3 size, whatever larger size you choose, it really takes time. And as I've told you before, I'm not the most patient person when it comes to myself. So I'm the most patient person when it comes to other people, listening, talking, whatever. But if it comes to myself, I'm quite impatient. And if a project that I do takes longer than, let's say, 10 or 15 hours, I'm getting internally nervous and want to have it finished. So mixed media seems to be my go-to way to have things done quickly, and it is also a great thing if you start with a project in a particular medium and you see that you struggle and you run against walls and don't know how to complete it, so you can just switch over to another medium to complete it, which is cool, and it gives me a bit more self-confidence perhaps in myself and my artist skills. So yeah, rambling off, I used both mediums to complete this part. And as I wasn't able to film it on the ship, as of obvious reasons, I think, I just made some progress photos of it, which I will show you here. And I would also like to hear your thoughts about these 2 little girls. If I did well, or if you think I should have done things differently, just to give me some feedback on my progress. Especially for the first girl, I did not really like the hairs, how they came out. It was more or less a struggle getting the haircut that I wanted it to look, and I think I did not do the best job that I could do. I already received some comments on Facebook and Instagram that people like the hairs and that children do not even have tidied hairs all the time, so it was okay. But yeah, you know, perfectionism is a hard thing, I guess. But overall spoken, I think I've learned quite a lot in these 3 little projects that I did. Each of them only took about 3-4 hours, which was way quicker than I expected it to be, especially if it was a new attempt for me in doing children. But yeah, I hope you liked this video as usual. And as you can see, we did not really film so much of our vacation itself, so I could have made tons of video footage of different foods, which was there all the time, which was amazing. And I could have filmed some city tours and such, but I'm not sure if people are interested, so especially you are interested in. So I really kept only a tiny bit of footage in this video and put it a bit more on the artsy side. But if you like to hear more of our private life, if you have any questions, what we do, how we live, or whatever you actually want to know, just write me the comment or text me on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever you would like to contact me. And if you're new to my channel and liked what you've seen here, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you like to get notified, you can also click the bell icon, and I hope to see you in my next videos. Have a great day. Bye bye.